Tonight, breaking banks. Adverse weather causes severe disruptions to daily life as Tri-Forces and police step in with rescue missions. Time to imbue. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa highlights the importance of convincing investors and tourists of national security. Our boys kept government at bay. Former Northern Chief Minister insists that people in the North and East can protect themselves. Unravelling plot. A web of lies untangled at the Presidential Commission probing the Easter Sunday attacks. All that and much more coming up on First at 9. This Saturday, the 21st of December, 2019.
මේ සීන් එකෙන් කට් වෙන්න. ඇන්ටිජර් මවුත්වොෂ් සමගින් එන ක්ලෝස් අප් ජෙල් එක ස්ටෝරි එක ස්ටාර්ට් කරන්න.
Hi.
Hi.
From AdaDerana, this is AdaDerana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to First at 9. I'm Dhammika Kanaga. Let's start with your local stories. Now, more fingers started pointing at SP Sanjeeva Bandara of Colombo North during the proceedings of the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the Easter Sunday attacks today. Various police officers had given evidence before implicating SP Sanjeeva Bandara in a deliberate plot to doctor relevant logbooks. Now, his personal assistant gave evidence today and confessed that he lied to the CID and other investigative units before his statement today, and he confessed that today's statement itself is the truth.
The officer in charge of the Law Enforcement Unit of Colombo North, Inspector KB Herat, gave evidence before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the Easter Sunday attacks yesterday. He said that although SP Sanjeeva Bandara's personal assistant, IP Upendra, informed him of a possible knife attack or a suicide attack on a place of religion of another faith on the 11th of April, he forgot to inform his superiors or juniors of the threat. With that being the case, the Commission recorded evidence from IP Upendra this morning, and he conceded that he knew of the letter of warning issued on the 11th of April 2019. He said the document warned of a possible suicide attack on Catholic churches and on the Indian High Commission by Zahran and his followers. He, however, said that upon receiving the document, SP Sanjeeva Bandara could not be reached, and he forwarded the letter with notes to all the officers in charge and assistant superintendents of police of Colombo North. IP Upendra added that although the telephone operator on the day Prema Kumara was asked to send the set of documents to police stations by fax, it transpired the next day that the document had not been sent. Telephone operator of the day Mahesh had given an explanation saying that although the documents were sent to one police station, the documents weren't clear and therefore they were not sent to other police stations. He said that upon instructions of SP Sanjeeva Bandara, other police stations with churches within their relevant areas were informed of it later. He added that although he warned relevant OICs of a possible suicide attack, dates and times were not communicated. When asked whether he followed up on the set of warning documents after the attack, he said that the documents which were given to SP Sanjeeva Bandara was found from a communal table. IP Upendra also said that SP Sanjeeva Bandara discussed doctoring the relevant logbooks with him. He also said that SP Sanjeeva Bandara was confident that OICs of other police stations will also get on board since they were contemporaries. IP Upendra added that what he told the CID and other investigative units was what he was asked to say by SP Sanjeeva Bandara, and his testimony to the commission is the truth.
ජෙල් සීන් ඇක්ෂන්. ඇන්ටිජර් මවුත්වොෂ් සමගින් එන ක්ලෝස් අප් ජෙල් එක ස්ටෝරි එක ස්ටාර්ට් කරන්න.
Now, extreme weather conditions continue to wreak havoc in many parts of the island, with security forces having to step in to mitigate the situation. Now, there were a couple of close calls when the intervention of the security forces proved crucial. Spill gates of various reservoirs are open, putting people living in low-lying areas at risk. Although there was some reprieve from heavy rains today, the forecast, however, is for it to pick up from tomorrow.
Due to heavy rainfall experienced over the last few days, many areas of the country suffered extreme implications of flooding and landslides. Accordingly, Badulla, Monaragala, Batiklo, Kandy, Matale, Hambantota, Kurunagala, Putlam, Kegol, Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa districts were the most affected. The extreme rainfall forced the spill gates of the Parakrama Samudra to be opened, which resulted the Polonnaruwa-Patiklo main road being inundated. With that being the case, a bus with passengers on board travelling towards Colombo was caught in rapids and was at risk of being washed away. In a collaborative effort, the army and the police managed to rescue all 54 passengers on board. With the inundation of the Polonnaruwa-Patiklo main road, vehicular traffic from Manampitiya to Gallella was also disrupted. In the meantime, Dr. Vasanta Senadira, senior scientist of the National Building Research Organisation, cautioned that the inclement weather will continue over the next few days.
NBRO has issued landslide early warning to the following areas. Level 3 evacuation red notice to Lagbala Pallegama, Yatavatta, Nauda, Vilgamua, Sattota, DS division in Martale district, Kudunuvara and Kudumbra and Madadumbra in DS division in Kendi district, Walapani DS division in Norili district, Badulla, Bandaravilla, Velimada, Haliala, Uparnagama, Ella, Aldumulla, Pastara, Lulugada, Abutara and Toronto DS division in Madura district. Level 2 alert amber warning to Amagumo Korle, Ukwela, Palepula and Matale DS division in Matale district, Hanguranketa DS division in Norali district, Badar Kumbara, Madagama and Bibila DS division in Mondaga district, Kalangoda and Imupe DS division in Sattapura district. Level 1 watchful yellow warning to Pathivata DS division in Kendi district, Norali DS division in Norali district. During this landslide early warning period, NBRO request to pay attention to the following pre-landslide: development cracks on the ground, deepened cracks and ground subsidence, planting of trees, electric post, fence and telephone posts, cracks in the floors and walls of buildings where are built at slope, sudden appearance of springs, emerging muddy water, blockage or disappearance of existing springs.
Meanwhile, the village of Dikwawa was also flooded as the Kalawewa broke its banks today. 28 people of the village had to be rescued by the Navy. The Kasarri and Mausa-Kale reservoirs also reached spill level due to the prolonged rains, while tanks Kandalama, Pansale, Pahalavan and Randeni overflowed, flooding the surrounding low-lying areas. Extreme rainfall resulted in the river Buttava within the Yala National Park overflowing and flooding the main road leading to the park. In the meantime, river Baduluoya also overflowed, leading to floods in the areas of Sumanatissa, Kailagoda, Hegoda and Badulupitiya. The adverse weather conditions meanwhile are set to continue over the next few days, despite there being no rain today. Director of the Forecasting Division at the Department of Meteorology, Anusha Varnasurya, detailed what could be expected and where.
A high possibility for showers, particularly in the northern and eastern part of the country, because active monsoon conditions prevailing in of Sri Lanka. Today also there is a little bit reduction of the rainfall, but from tomorrow onwards again there is a possibility for heavy showers, particularly in the northern, eastern, north, central, lower provinces and also in the central provinces as well. And afternoon thunder showers also can be expected in the western, Kabaragamuwa and Golmatara district. Fairly heavy falls, around 100 millimeters can be expected in the northern, eastern, north, central and lower provinces tomorrow. And also this showery condition is expected to continue next few days as well.
Now, former Chief Minister of the Northern Province, C.V. Vigneswaran, levelled a slew of accusations against President Gotabaya Rajapaksa today, ranging from the desire to control the North and East to changing the demography to make North and East a Sinhala Buddhist unit in time to come. What's more, Vigneswaran claims that security of the people in the two provinces will be better off if power is devolved, saying that government forces were kept at bay for nearly 30 years by what he termed as our youngsters.
Former Northern Province Governor C.V. Vigneswaran believes that the security of the North and East could be better served with devolution of power, especially in the aftermath of the Easter Sunday attacks. Issuing a statement today, Vigneswaran agreed that security is of paramount importance, but questioned as to why the President thinks that only the central government can protect the people of the North and East. He added that if power is devolved to the provinces, they could protect themselves. He went on to say, quote, "Our youngsters kept the government of Sri Lanka and its tri-forces at bay for nearly 30 years. Only the help given by almost a score of countries dismantled them. Surely we could protect ourselves if adequate powers are devolved to us. To me, the talk of security seems to be a ruse to control the north and east and to expropriate our areas," unquote. The former Northern Chief Minister also accuses President Gotabaya Rajapaksa of wanting to control the north and east, control the Tamils, keep the armed forces forever in the Tamil-speaking areas, expropriate the north and east of their natural resources, colonize the north and east with Sinhalese and Buddhists, and change the demography to make north and east a Sinhala Buddhist unit in time to come. He goes on to say that the president's reluctance to grant devolution of powers presupposes these goals in the minds of the president and others.
Now, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa pledges to correct the wrongs of the ousted government by doing justice by the tri-forces, where their members, he says, were imprisoned under bogus charges. Addressing a passing out ceremony of cadet officers today, the Premier also hit upon the importance of imbuing investors and tourists with confidence to come to Sri Lanka by ensuring national security following 5 years of bad governance.
A passing out ceremony of cadet officers from the Sri Lanka Military Academy in Diyathalawa was worked off today at its grounds under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa.
මේ රටේ ජනතාව ඉන්නේ රට වෙනුවෙන් රට රකින්න රණවිරුවත් එක්ක. පසුගිය කාලේ ඕන ගොනෙකුට යුද්ධ කරන්න පුළුවන් කියපු පිරිසක් අපි අතර හිටියා. පැවතිච්ච ආණ්ඩුව යුද්ධ දිනපු හමුදාව ගැන දැක්වේ වෛරයක්. හමුදාවේ ඉන්නේ රණවිරුව නොවේ හොරු මිනිමරු කියලා ජනතාවට හේතු ගන්නවන්න උන් මහත් වෙහසක් දැරුවා. භික්ෂුත්වයට පුදුම විදියට නිග්‍රහ කරා ආම්තුනේ. පසුගිය අවුරුදු 5 ඇතුළත මේ රටේ හිටපු පාලකයෝ ඇති කරන්න හැදුවේ දෙමව්පියන් තම දරුවන් සසුන්ගත කරන්න හෝ හමුදාවට බැඳෙන්න දෙන්නේ නැති තත්ත්වයක් ඇති කරන්න. ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාවේ පොලිසියේ ඉහළම නිලධාරීන්ගේ ඉඳලා පහළම සෙබළ දක්වා පොලිසිය ඉදිරියට ගෙනල්ලා ප්‍රශ්න කරලා බොරු චෝදනා ගොතලා හිරේ දැම්මා. ඒවත් දැක දැකත් දෙමව්පියෝ තමන්ගේ දරුවන් හමුදාවට එව්වේ රටට තියෙන ඇල්ම නිසායි කියලා මම විශ්වාස කරන්නේ. දෙන ප්‍රතිඥාව තමයි පසුගිය අවුරුදු 5 ඇතුළත ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාවේ සමාජිකයන් ඉලක්ක කරගෙන සිදු කරපු දඩයමත් අවමානයක් තත් සාධාරණයක් ඉටු කරනවා අය කියන එක. ප්‍රාණවිරු ගායට තිත තියන්න කියලා තන්දේ ඉල්ලපු අයට රටේ ජනතාව දීපු පිළිතුරු ඔබ ගිය මාසේ දැක්කා. ඔබේ සේනාධිනායකයා බවට පත් වෙලා ඉන්නේ ඔබ වගේම මීඩියා තලාවේ කඳුරෙන් පුහුණුව ලැබලා මේ විදියට පෙරට්ටුව ඉදිරිපත් වෙලා යුද හමුදාවේ දෙවන යුදයන් තනතුරෙන් තමන්ගේ වෘත්තිමය ජීවිතය පටන් ගත්ත සටන් අත්දැකීම් සහිත රණවිරුවෙක්. අවුරුදු 5ක අවපාලනයෙන් පස්සේ ත්‍රස්තවාදය නැති කරලා තිබුණු මේ රටේ දැන් නැවතත් ත්‍රස්තවාදයක් ඇති වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒ ත්‍රස්තවාදය ඇති වුණේ පසුගිය ආණ්ඩුව තුල ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාව දඩයම් කළා අකාර්මාන්‍ය කරපු නිසා. ජනාධිපතිවරණයෙන් පස්සේ ආපු ගැම්මෙන් අපි සපුරා ගන්න යවුන පළමු ඉලක්කය තමයි රටේ ජාතික ආරක්ෂාව නැවතත් ස්ථාපිත කරලා ආයෝජකයන්ට මෙම සංචාරකයන්ට මේ රට සුරක්ෂිතයි කියන විශ්වාසය දෙන එක.
Parliamentarian Sajith Premadasa urges an end to the tradition of hypocritical politics practiced in Sri Lanka. Now, speaking at a public event in Kirillawala today, the parliamentarian also expressed readiness to back every good move of the current government.
UNP MP Sajith Premadasa held an awareness meeting for members of the organisation dubbed Navoda Lanka, an entity attached to the United National Party, in Kirillawala this morning.
සමුර්දී සහනාධාරයට අමතරව අර බඩු මල්ලකුත් දෙනවයි කිව්වා. ඒකත් දැන් බොහෝ දෙනෙක් බලාගෙනම ඉන්නවා. කරන්න ඕන කුහක දේශපාලනයනේ අපි පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ගිහලා ඒක විවේචනය කරන්න හොඳ නැහැ. අත් දෙක මුස්සලා මුදල් අනුමත කරන්නට ඕන. හැබැයි අපි ඉල්ලීමක් කරන්නට ඕන ඒ ජයග්‍රහණය කරපු පාර්ශ්වයට ඉක්මනින් අලුත් අයවැයක් ගේ. මේ සමහරෙක්ගේ චකිතයක් ඇති මේ තවමත් පාර්ලිමේන්තු බහුතරය අපිට තියෙන්නේ. අපි මේ අයව පරාජය කරයිද කියලා. නෑ එහෙම පරාජය කරන්නේ නෑ. 69 ලක්ෂයක් අනුමත කරපු ඒ ප්‍රතිපත්ති මාලාව ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය මුදල් යෝජනා ටික පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ගෙනෙනකොට 3න් 2 නෙවෙයි 6න් 5 නෙවෙයි 6න් 6ම දෙන්න. ඒක කොන්දේසියක් තියෙනවා. මේ සහන ටික මහමැතිවරණින් ඔබට වළංගු වෙන්නට ඕන.
MP Sajid Premadasa arrived at the Negombo prison this afternoon to look into the well-being of Putlam district parliamentarian Santa Abevira.
ඔබතුමා ගොඩක් කලකිරීමකින් ඉන්නේ අපිට පේන හැටියට.
නෑ එහෙම කිසිම කලකිරීමක් නැහැ.
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ බෙදීමක් තිබෙනවද මේ වෙද්දි ගැටුම්කාරී තත්ත්වයක්?
අපි කිසි බෙදීමක් නැහැ. ඉදිරියේදී සිදුවන දේවල් ක්‍රියාකාරකම් තුළ හැමෝටම බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්.
Many politicians, including MP Sajid Premadasa, arrived at the Valikada prison to see how former Minister Partali Champika Ranawaka was faring after he was remanded over a hit-and-run case which occurred back in 2016.
අධිකරණ ක්‍රියාවලිය ගැන මම මේ ගැන කතා කරන්නට යන්නේ නැහැ. මම හිතන්නේ එතුමාගේ වෛද්‍ය තත්ත්වය තුළ ඒ වෛද්‍ය වාර්තා තුළ ඒ ලැබෙන්න ඕන සහන ටික ඒ ලැබෙන්න ඕන මූලික අවශ්‍යතාවයන් ටික ලැබෙයි කියලා මම විශ්වාස කරනවා.
පාර්ලිමේන්තු සම්ප්‍රදායට පටහැනිවද මේ අත්අඩංගුවට ගැනීම සිදු කරලා තියෙන්නේ?
අපිට පෙනී ගිහිලා තිබෙන තොරතුරු අනුව ඒ නිගමනයට තමයි එන්න තියෙන්නේ. ඒක තමුන් අන්සලා දන්න කාරණාව.
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ නායකත්වය සජිත් මහත්තයාට ලබා දිය යුතුද නැත්නම් රනිල් මහත්තයා ආදොරට රැඳී සිටිය යුතුද?
මම එක පැත්තකවත් නැහැ. මම ඉන්නේ පක්ෂය ශක්තිමත් විය යුතුයි. අපි එක මැතිවරණයක් කරා සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමා නායකයා හැටියට ඉදිරියෙන් තියාගෙන. අපිට මැතිවරණයට එක එක ගමන් යන්න බෑ. මම පුද්ගලිකව හිතනවා මම රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මැතිතුමාට කතා කරා. තුමා කිව්වා එතුමා නැවත ඡන්දෙ ඉල්ලන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. ඒතර එතුමාගේ මානසිකත්වය එහෙමනම් මම හිතනවා එතුමා නායකත්වයේ බාර දිය යුතුයි සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමාට.
State Minister of Water Supply Vasudeva Nanayakkara yesterday revealed plans to introduce a new tariff system for water, taking various classes of income and their relevant water usage into consideration. He insisted that the wealthy will not be given any tariff concessions and went on to explain that although water tariffs should be revised every 3 years, it was given a wide berth by successive governments owing to its sensitivity. The State Minister also spoke about an array of other matters ranging from the MCC Compact, the increase in prices of consumer goods to the extradition of former CBSL Governor Arjuna Mahendran during his media briefing.
MCC abrogated in the form it is. It is in a particular form now with a particular content. That will be totally rejected. Where the land is affected, where our sovereignty is affected, where the applicability of law is concerned, and also where the facilities for the foreign investors is concerned.
You are ready to accept it or sign it?
Not as it is. But I don't think with amendment it is acceptable to US. US will not accept our amendment. They are keen to sign it the way they want. But the way we want, they will not. Rice, yes, it is now about 105. That is Nadu. Nadu will come down in price by the end of January to about 90 or even little less. It will come down when we bring the stocks into the government outlets and the market, and prices will then descend. And about vegetables, that's seasonal matter. I have proposed that our Facebook acts as the People's Committee in order to ask and propagate not to purchase expensive vegetables, but to rely more on the inexpensive vegetables. You do that for 2 weeks, the prices of the expensive vegetables will also come down. Attorney General has taken steps on it and they are continuing. I think he has already escaped from Singapore also. He's become a fugitive now. Anyway, we will bring him the way we brought KP. Politicians who are being arrested is only a consequence of the process of law. We have no intention to either make predictions or to comment on them. Let the course of law take its own course. But we are not pursuing this. That is a matter for the police. And we are completely out of the sea.
We'll see you again after this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is First at 9. Now, the AdaDerana National Initiative carried out its 49th health camp at the Nigrodarama Temple in Hambantota today. Area residents gathered at the clinic, which was set up to identify cases of early-stage kidney disease as well as to provide with medical advice. The Young Buddhist Association, the Octan Institution and the Legions Hospital in Ragama lent a hand to AdaDerana for the initiative. Blood and urine tests were performed to identify any possible cases of renal failure. The blood tests were conducted by Cipla institution, while the Sri Lanka Eye Donation Society conducted free eye examinations, also providing patients with spectacles. Now, State Minister of Development, Banks and Loan Schemes Shahan Semasinghe is confident that relieving the people's tax burden will result in a smooth flow of the economy and aid a 6% annual growth as expected. He expressed optimism at a media briefing over the government's tax cuts and the measures taken by the government to spur growth, including the government's new directive to suspend recovery of loans obtained by the SME sector.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa have issued a directive to chairpersons and CEOs of all banks to suspend the recovery of loans obtained by the SME sector. This is following a decision to take up a new initiative to revive the SME sector, which bears an outstanding debt of 300 million rupees in each entity, given that banks have gained savings following the recently announced tax relief measures. The directives from the President and Prime Minister also incorporates redress to small and medium-scale paddy millers. The concessionary measure is to be followed by a comprehensive package coupled with the recent tax relief.
Once we took over government, we have taken concerns of all necessary areas in Sri Lanka, especially the agricultural sector, where we will drive the economy on an agricultural base. On the other hand, we will have faith on small and medium scale enterprises, and it was very inconsistent. The government had a tax policy where it was designed to safeguard friends of the previous UNP regime. So it was very inconsistent and was changing very rapidly. Every 2-3 months we saw tax policy being changed by the government, and even introduced a tax policy which was not even designed to Sri Lanka. So that had a very hard impact on having the economy flowing smoothly. That's a promise given by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The VAT component was reduced to 8%. The withholding tax was removed, and even the payee tax, which everybody will enjoy the benefit end of January, has been taken off. Simultaneously, we need another relief package given to the small and medium scale enterprises for them to come back to their normal situation and have the normal contribution to the economy. They have taken loans. The loans they have serviced well. But unfortunately, due to the regime we had in Sri Lanka, the downfall of the economy came through. Now, the government has taken a decision. First was the tax concessions. Second was immediately stopping the auctioning process. And then there will be another further step taken by the government in the future. In consultation with the central bank, the government banks and the private banks, we are now designing a relief package which the small and medium scale enterprises could contribute to the economy. So I think after giving this relief packages, it will have the economy up and running, and the economy will flow smoothly, and our aim is to have a 6% annual growth in our economy. So we are very confident that we could achieve it.
Now, the outsized rally in the US stock market this year may give way to a more muted performance in 2020 if history is any guide. The benchmark S&P 500 is up nearly 28% for the year, which, if the market closed this week for the year, would mark the second best annual performance for the index since 1997. However, investors who are hoping the rally will continue charging ahead through next year may be disappointed.
The S&P 500 has returned an average of 6.6% in this year, following a rally of 20% or more since 1928, slightly below the 7.6% return in all years. Fund managers and strategists say there are several reasons to believe that the stock market will not continue on a path of notching double-digit annual returns like it did during the late 90s tech bubble. The Fed also helped spark a bond rally that pushed 10-year Treasury yields near historic lows and boosted dividend-paying stocks, further pointing to concerns about the strength of the US economy. Few on Wall Street expect a bear market in 2020 as analysts and equity strategists see few signs of a recession looming in the year ahead, while the market has seemed unfazed by issues such as President Donald Trump's impeachment or ongoing trade tensions.
We take a look at what's happening around the world on the other side of this break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This is First at 9. Now, US President Donald Trump signed into law a $738 billion defense policy bill that Congress passed earlier in the week and which officially creates his new Space Force. The Space Force is the first new branch of the US military in more than 60 years, and its creation was a top priority for Trump. Trump signed the National Defense Authorization Act inside a military hangar at Joint Base Andrews before leaving with his family for his Florida retreat.
Today also marks another landmark achievement as we officially inaugurate the newest branch of our military. This is a very big and important moment. It's called the Space Force. Space. Going to be a lot of things happening in space, because space is the world's newest warfighting domain. Amid grave threats to our national security, American superiority in space is absolutely vital. And we're leading, but we're not leading by enough, but very shortly we'll be leading by a lot. The Space Force will help us deter aggression and control the ultimate high ground.
North Korea lashed back at the United States for taking issue with its human rights record, saying Washington's malicious words would only aggravate tensions on the Korean peninsula. North Korea's state news agency KCNA reported a foreign ministry spokesperson warning today that if the United States dared to take issue with the North's system of governance by citing human rights problems, it would pay dearly. The United Nations General Assembly on Wednesday condemned North Korea's long-standing and ongoing violations of human rights in an annual resolution sponsored by dozens of countries, including the United States. The North Korean Foreign Ministry statement is its first since the U.S. Special Envoy for North Korea, Stephen Biegun, publicly urging Pyongyang to return to talks. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has said that he would end his holiday in Hawaii early as a horrendous bushfire crisis intensifies in the country. Fires are raging across Australia amid a heat wave, which has produced the country's 2 hottest days on record. Footage of fires posted by the fire department showed uncontrollable fires burning roadside, with the added mix of winds creating catastrophic fire conditions.
New South Wales Rural Fire Service urged residents to evacuate as bushfires were expected to spread today. The fire department shared aerial footage of the Gross Valley and the massive blaze at Gospers Mountain on their social media platforms, altering residents and advising them to leave the area. The head of fire services in rural areas of New South Wales says that the heat and strong winds created catastrophic fire conditions. Close to 100 fires were burning across New South Wales on this afternoon, of which 6 were characterised as emergency level. Some major roads outside Sydney were closed, and authorities asked people to delay travel as the start of what is normally a busy Christmas holiday period, warning of the unpredictability of the fires as winds of up to 70 kilometers per hour were said to fan the flames as temperatures soared above 40 degrees Celsius. Just days out of Christmas, local police warned people to avoid travelling throughout the day as roads would likely close and temperatures would soar.
Now, day 3 of the second and final test between visiting Sri Lanka and Pakistan ended in Karachi, with some supporters having more to, or home supporters rather, I should say, having more to smile than the visitors. Now, resuming from their overnight tally of 57 for no loss, Pakistani batsmen put on a stellar show, which included 2 centuries. Abid Ali and Shan Masood converted their partnership into a 278-run stand, with Ali smashing a career-best 174 and Masood scoring 135 as Pakistan forged a 315-run lead over Sri Lanka in Karachi. Now, Sri Lanka tried everything possible to break the partnership, which went on to become the second biggest opening stand for Pakistan in Test history. Pakistan ended the day on 395 runs for the loss of 2 wickets and will continue batting tomorrow. And that's it from all of us here at First at 9. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.